Taking a moment to direct our breath in and out through our nose, all the way to the lowest part of our ribs. Letting our breath become active as we force that last bit of breath out on our exhale, allowing our inhale to be a little bit longer. And bending our knees, draw our knees into our chest, give them a hug. And slowly rock side to side. And rock to one side and press yourself up. Find our way to a comfortable seat with our hips elevated up higher than our knees. You can use blocks, you can use towel, you can use a blanket, whatever you prefer. And then once we find ourselves elevated, rise up tall through our spine. Make sure we're seated on the very front edge of our prop so that our hips can tip forward. Shoulders roll back and down, then close our eyes. Feeling our breath continue to move in and out through our nose and our belly. Let's tip our head forward and then begin to tuck our chin. And placing our hands at the base of our head with our peace fingers, index finger and middle finger, right at the occipital bones. So those are the bones at the base of our head, top of our neck. And then let the rest of your fingers gently relax onto your head and neck. And then I want you to imagine for a moment that you're using your fingers and pulling your head up towards the ceiling, just the base of your head. Just encouraging a little bit of length through the back of our neck. And then soften your fingers, lifting your head back up. And then we're going to interlace our fingers behind our neck. Wrap our elbows and our forearms around the side of our neck and forward, so that we're giving our neck a gentle squeeze. And again, this is nothing intense, just kind of a gentle hug with our arms around the sides of our neck. And on our next inhale, lift our elbows up, and our hands should be keeping space in the back of our neck. And then slowly bring our elbows down. And then inhale, slowly lift them back up. Exhale, slowly bring them back down. Inhale, slowly bring them up. Finding some movement through our upper to mid back. Letting the movement honor your body while we keep the natural curve of our neck. You might find that your head kind of sinks into your fingers a little bit. But allow those fingers to keep the space. Find one more time. And then to open up our elbows, releasing our hands down to our lap. Let's lower our chin back down towards our throat. We're tipping the head forward and then tucking our chin in towards our throat. Turn our head to the right and allow our movement to be gentle. Lifting our left ear up towards the ceiling. And again, we're only moving to a place that honors us, so no pain, no discomfort. Keep the ribs hugged in, shoulders relaxed down. Lifting our chin up to the ceiling, and then over to the left. And then pulling our chin down towards the floor. Pulling our right ear down towards the floor. And slowly turn our chin to center. Now we're going to move actively and strong. You want to make fists with your hands. Hug your bellies in a lot. Hug your elbows into the side of your ribs. Pull your chin in towards your throat. And then turn your chin to the left. Lift it up towards the ceiling, full range of motion with comfort. Slowly lift our right ear up. And lift our chin up towards the ceiling and over to the right. And then pull our left ear down with strong intentions, without pain or discomfort. Slowly turn our chin to center. And then relax our hands, our arms, our shoulders, allowing the neck to just soften. Making a fist with our hands, hug our elbows into our side, pull our shoulder blades down our back, and then turn our chin to the right and lift it up to the ceiling. And lift our left ear up. Turning our chin up to the ceiling and then over to the left. Pulling our right ear down. Turning our chin back to center. And relax our arms. Moving passively, gently, turn our head to the left. And then lift our right ear up. And then lift our chin up and over to the right. And then pull our left ear down. And then turn our chin back to center. Bringing our head back up and neutral. Let's turn our head side to side. And then bringing our head back to center. Let's pull our head back, keeping our chin parallel to the ground. Put our hands on our forehead. And then add some pressure. Head into hand, hand into head. Slowly tuck our chin. And slowly lift our head up. And lifting our chin up to a place that honors us. And slowly pulling our chin back down. Keeping that pressure, heads into hands, hands into head. And lifting our chin up one more time. And pulling our chin down to neutral. And then relax, letting our hands go, let them come to our lap, close our eyes, turning our heads side to side. Bringing your head back to center, opening our eyes. Let's slowly lower our left ear towards our left shoulder. Holding, breathing. Nose points straight forward. Slide our right hand underneath our hip. Lift our spine up. Lifting our head back up, releasing our right hand back to our lap. Draw our left hand underneath our hip. Rise up tall through our spine and then lower our right ear towards our right shoulder. Lifting our head back up, releasing our left hand from underneath us. Let's find a few seated cat-cows. On our next exhale, round our back, hugging our bellies in. Turn our gaze down towards the floor. And then inhale, tip our hips forward, lengthen across our belly. Lift our chest up towards the ceiling. Hold on to that imaginary apple underneath your chin. And then rounding our back, moving from the belly first. Turning our gaze down. Inhale, tip our hips forward, lengthen across our belly. Lift our chest up, shoulders back, hold on to that apple. And slowly rounding. Hugging our bellies in. And tip our hips forward, lift our chest, roll our shoulders back and down. Lifting our chest up. Come back to a neutral spine. Let's slide one hand towards our hip and the other hand forward towards our ankles. And then switch sides, letting our hands kind of guide our movement. So as we draw one hand back towards our hip, that becomes our end range of motion. We don't need to go any further than that. Keeping our shoulders over our hips, we're focusing more on the elbow coming back and the strength that it takes in our back to rotate. Doing so with a long neutral spine. And come back to neutral. We're going to reach one hand up to the ceiling. Let our gaze follow if it feels okay for our neck. And switch sides. Opening up the side of our body. Noticing that as we extend the side of our body, there's a little bit of rotation. There's stability within our neck. The opposite side that we're stretching is working. Let's come back to center. And then we're going to find an all fours position in the center of our mat. Stacking our joints, spreading our fingers wide. From here, I want you to keep the arms straight. Notice if your fingers are aligned and pointed towards the front of your mat. And then we're going to keep those arms straight as we squeeze our shoulder blades together. And then pull our shoulder blades apart. Squeeze our shoulder blades together and pull them apart. Squeeze them together, keeping the arms straight, pulling them apart. Squeezing them together, arms straight, and pulling them apart. One more time. And bring your shoulders to neutral. Curl our toes under, lift our knees, draw our hips back for a short downward facing dog. Again, listening to our body, making sure this feels okay for us. Then walk forward, front of our mat, and fold. Take a moment to shake our head yes. Shaking our head no. Bringing our head back to neutral. Bend our knees, turn our gaze forward, sweep our hands out to the side and up. Hands come together in front of our heart. Step our right foot back into a warrior one position. So hips stay square to the front of our mat. Back foot's turned out slightly, but straight. Our front leg is bent. Then from here, we're going to open up our chest. And then step forward, hands come to heart center. Step our left foot back, warrior one. Front knees bent, back leg straight, shoulders over the top of our hips. Bellies gently hugged in, tailbones gently tucked. Draw our arms out to the side and open our chest. And I want you to drive the elbows down a little bit. Feel how you engage the sides of our ribs as well as your upper mid back. Pull your head back without popping your ribs forward. So it's kind of a gentle balance. Then step forward, hands come to heart center. Right foot back, open up our heart. Step forward, left foot back, open our heart. Continue flowing one side to the other. Wrap up the other side and step forward. Releasing our hands down. Let's walk our feet out a little bit wider than hip width distance apart. And we're going to twist side to side. Come back to center. Step our feet back in. Then we're going to step our right foot back into a lunge and then pivot on our feet to face the side of our mat. Then draw our hands to our hips. And we're going to pivot on the balls of our feet, bringing our heels in, toes out. Then bend our knees, draw our knees in line with our toes, and then come back up. Bend our knees, draw them in line with our toes, come up. Now we're going to add arms. Next time we come up, sweep our hands up to the ceiling, make sure that we're honoring our shoulders. Exhale, elbows come into our side. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, bring it down. Waking up our legs. One more time. And then bring our hands to our side. This time we're going to turn our toes forward just a little bit. So they're not going to be all the way forward. So kind of slightly. Then sweep our hands up to the ceiling. Sink our hips back. Bend our knees a little bit. Sweep our hands in front of us and then bring them back up. You can lower your head down as far as comfortable for you. Hips back. Now we're waking up the whole back side of our body. Moving with strong legs, strong hips by driving your heels into the floor on the way up. Let that be the start of your movement. One more time. And then draw our arms to our side, walk our feet into the center of our mat. We're going to stay facing the long edge. Then we're going to kick our left foot out, bend our knee, land on our left foot, keeping our knee behind our toes. Then we're going to push off, come to center, and I want you to find a tree pose from a first level, so level 1. Heel comes to the ankle. Then same side, step out, come back, maybe find the calf. Step out, maybe find inner thigh above the knee. Step out, continue flowing in whatever variation honors you, staying on the same side. Focus on the standing leg, driving into the floor to come up. That's what's going to give you your balance. Find one more time. And put our foot down. We're standing in the center of our mat. Then kick our right foot out, land with a bent knee, come in level 1. Step out, maybe level 1 or level 2. Step out, maybe level 3. Step out and continue to flow your variation. One more time. Put our foot down. Turn around, step forward to the front of our mat. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, fold. Walk both feet back, lowering our knees down to the mat. Find cow pose, opening our heart. And then sink our hips back towards our heels, keeping that cow. Come back up and do it again. Notice when we change the shape of our low back. Find one more time. And come up. We're going to move our hips and shoulders the same direction, one side and then the other. Continue to rock side to side, keeping your hips stable, keeping the waistline the same length on both sides. Come back to center after you finish both. And then we're going to sink our hips back to child's pose. Lowering our forehead down. Soften through our head, our neck, our shoulders. Make this your variation of child's pose. Maybe arms are in front. Maybe they're at your side. Maybe your knees are together, or maybe your knees are wide. Walking our hands in underneath our shoulders. Press ourselves up. And then we're going to grab a hold of a towel or blanket, whatever you prefer. You can also use a block, roll or fold it up. And then we're going to place this rolled or folded up towel in between our ankles so that we have something to sit on. If it does not get tall enough, you can use a block, or you can use a block and a towel, placing your towel over your block. So whatever you prefer, elevate your hips. Now we're going to take our hands across our chest, sitting up nice and tall. And then on our next exhale, hug our belly in a lot. And then we're going to actively pull our elbows down towards our hips, pressing our hands into our shoulders. And then slowly coming back up using the strength of our spine. Nice and slow. Keep your hands pressing into your shoulders. Find a full upright posture. Then switch the cross of your arms. Press your forearms in towards each other and into your chest. And then again, hug our bellies in and start to round. Pulling your elbows down towards your hips. Hands are pulling your shoulders down with. Slowly lift up using the strength of your spine. Rising up as tall as you can. And then we're going to turn our chest to the right. And then on our next exhale, slowly hugging our belly in, we're rounding, drawing our elbows towards our right hip. Slowly using our back and our spine, come up. Come back to center. And then turn our chest to the left. And then hugging our bellies in, drawing our elbows towards our left hip. Slowly lifting back up. Unwind our twist, releasing our hands down to our side. We're going to grab a hold of our therapy balls, come to a lying down position on our back. And you can keep your block handy. Placing our block underneath our head. Place the therapy balls on top of the block. Place our head, the very base of our head, on top of the therapy balls. Let our shoulders relax down, close our eyes, and then let our chin soften towards our throat. Find our breathing in and out through our nose and the lowest part of our ribs. If it feels okay for you, slowly turn your head to the right a little bit and then to the left. Rocking our head side to side. Bringing our head back to center. Lift our head up and roll the balls down to the center of our neck and lift our chin up to the ceiling. If it feels good for you, turn your head side to side. Bringing our head back to center. Let's lift our head up. Release the blocks and the therapy balls out from underneath us. Put our head down on the floor, and then we're going to release the therapy balls out of the bag. And if it feels good for you, place one underneath each shoulder. So you're going to be staying off the bony structures and just finding the soft tissue of our traps at the top of our shoulders. So just place one underneath. Ball will probably be hanging out over the top of your shoulder a little bit, and that's okay. You're kind of looking for that corner edge of your shoulder blade. So if you find that top corner edge closest to your spine and then move it up and in a little bit, that's about where you want to place the balls. You can extend your legs. You might need to move the therapy balls again. into our bodies. Let our breath begin to deepen. Slowly begin to bend our knees, releasing the therapy balls out from behind our shoulders. Let's roll over to our right side. Press ourselves up. Find our way back to a comfortable seat. Under our hands together in front of our heart. Sealing in all that we found in this practice. In this practice of movement, awareness, breath, strength, and peace. Tasting it all as a gift that we can take off of our mat into our rest of our day. Namaste.